All right, Aurora, guess what? It's movie night.
So you have a movie picked? Make it good, or I'll make you vanish.
Oh, how about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
You mean the Philosopher's Stone?
No, in the US, it's the Sorcerer's Stone.
Well, Dachshunds are from Germany. So I subscribe to German issues of films.
Okay. Anyway, it's based on like the most popular book series of all time.
How would you know? You can't read.
Just because I don't like to read doesn't mean that I can't.
Right. Anyway, tell me about this movie.
Well, we see this old wizard arrive at this neighborhood and he deluminates all of the street lamps.
Spooky.
Yeah. Then he says hello to a cat and she turns into a woman.
A cat? Starting out on the wrong foot here.
Right. Anyway, they walk up to this house and a flying motorbike stops by right beside them with a toddler wrapped up in blankets.
So, is that Harry?
That's him. So they lay him down on this doorstep of some muggles.
Muggles?
Yeah, like non-magic folk.
Oh, continue.
Yeah, so the family in his home are his relatives. You have his uncle, his aunt, and his cousin Dudley, and so that's where they leave him.
Wait, what? These people drop him off on a doorstep and walk away. He's a toddler.
Well, they're witches and wizards, so I'm sure they just didn't want to interact with the muggles that were inside the house. I don't know.
Right. Secrecy?
Yeah, so then we fast forward to him being like 10 years old, okay, almost 11, and his aunt, uncle, and his cousin are being mean to him.
Right. Sure, glad he's with loving family. Stupid magic folk.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's Dudley's birthday, and so they take him to the zoo, and Harry stops to talk to this snake who blinks at him.
Wait. Snakes can't blink. They don't have eyelids, Dad.
Whoa.
Ruh-roh.
So the snake escapes from the zoo after Harry makes the glass vanish, and then he gets in trouble with his uncle.
How do you make it vanish?
Unclear, but he flared his nostrils, so maybe that's the trick.
Interesting. What are you doing, Dad?
I'm trying to make a cake appear.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so time goes on, and we start seeing Harry get these letters sent to the house for him, but his uncle tries to keep him from getting the letters.
Why does he keep them?
Unclear, but during this time, we actually get to see Dudley show some of his magical ability because he's able to know exactly what Mr. Dudley is saying as he's saying it.
Ruh-roh.
Whoa.
So, how many letters?
Well, a ton. Like, there's raining from the sky letters inside their house. And Harry's jumping up and down, and it takes him, a few tries, but eventually, he grabs one as it's falling from the ceiling.
Why not just grab one off the ground?
Yeah, that would have been easier.
So it's going to be hard to keep Harry from reading a letter since there's so many.
Nah, easy as giving you a bath.
I hate the bath with a passion.
Oh, I know. Anyway, they up and leave their house and go to this, rundown shack on this rocky island in the middle of the ocean.
What? How is that easy?
Yeah, it seems extreme. But anyway, there is a big storm on Harry's birthday out in the middle of the ocean here, and they hear some big bangs coming from the front door.
Oh, no. Did the police come for the uncle since he's been taking Harry's mail and committing mail fraud?
No. Anyway, it's Hagrid, and he is there to see Harry. And, obviously the aunt and uncle come downstairs. They come down with a shotgun and tell him that he's breaking and entering. He needs to leave.
Oh, no. So they shoot Hagrid?
No, Hagrid just grabs the gun and, bends the muzzle so that it shoots up into the ceiling and creates this big hole.
Does the massive rainfall come flooding in the roof?
Nope.
Oh. Seems like an oversight.
Whoa.
Ruh-roh.
So, Hagrid gives him a letter that says he's been accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Hogwarts? Really?
Yeah, the name of the school.
Who the heck thought it would be a good idea to name a school after an infectious growth of a swine?
Yeah. When you think about it, it isn't really the best name.
Might as well have called it Yeti's hairballs.
Right. Anyway, Dudley starts eating the cake with his bare hands that Hagrid had made for Harry.
What a pig.
That's exactly what Hagrid thought, because Hagrid cast a spell and gave him a little piggy tail. And Dudley shows more of his magic there because he turns around and all that cake that he's been grabbing with his hands, there's not a crumb on him.
Ruh-roh.
So then Hagrid takes Harry to London, where they shop for school supplies.
So what kind of school supplies does a wizard need?
You know, the standard things, cauldrons, wand, and then Hagrid gets Harry an owl.
Oh, that's nice. Can I have an owl?
What? No.
Fine.
Anyway, so Hagrid directs Harry to go to platform 9 3/4 at the train station so that he can board the Hogwarts Express.
Um, Platforms aren't in quarters.
Yeah, it's actually a portal where you run straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10.
Oh, and Harry finds the portal?
No, he's not really able to figure out where it's at. But this family comes by and they mention the word muggle, so Harry gets to follow them.
Gotcha. But how did Hagrid know that family would be there?
He didn't.
Wow. Leaving a toddler on a doorstep, he could have got up and walked on the road anytime, and then he leaves him alone at a magical platform that can't be seen with the naked eye. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's kind of dim-witted. So anyway, Harry boards the train. He gets on with this kid named Ron, who was with that family that he saw that helped him through the portal, and he shows him his rat and tries to show him how to turn him yellow, but the spell doesn't work.
So, what was the point of that scene?
Adding to the runtime, I guess.
Well, I'm sure they didn't have other things of substance to focus more scenes on. It's not like it's from a novel.
Yeah. Anyway, the train arrives after they also meet this girl named Hermione.
Oh, so what's she like?
Oh, she's like super smart.
Gotcha.
So the train arrives, and then the first year students get to board on these boats and go to school.
Boats?
Yeah, so the boats are like magical boats because there's like no paddles or anything like that. They're just like floating on their own to the school. It's a really cool scene.
Magic boats. Okay.
Yeah, so then they get sorted into their houses.
So, what houses are there?
Well, there's Gryffindor for the brave kids, there's Ravenclaw for the smart kids, there's Slytherin for the ambitious ones, and then Hufflepuff for the loyal ones.
So, Hermione goes to Ravenclaw, right?
Oh, no, 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 no. She goes to Gryffindor.
But you said she was super smart.
Well, yeah, whoa.
Ruh-roh.
Anyway, Harry gets sorted into Gryffindor. He sits beside Ron at the table, and then his scar starts to burn.
A scar?
Oh, yeah, he got this scar because he was like cursed as a toddler, but he lived through it, so it left a mark on him.
That's it?
Well, look, there's a lot more to it, but you'll find that out in the movie.
Fine. So his scar burns.
So, anyway, when looking at this one professor, Harry's scar starts to burn, and anyway, he turns to Percy, who's sitting beside him, and he asks him about that professor.
But didn't Harry sit beside Ron?
Right. Whoa.
Ruh-roh.
So Percy tells him it's Professor Snape, okay? Also formerly known as Hans Gruber.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So anyway, after dinner, everyone goes to their dormitories.
Wait, are they co-ed dorms?
Yeah, they're co-ed.
Wow, just asking for trouble, aren't you, Hogwarts?
Well, actually, in the Gryffindor chambers, there is this spell that if the boys try to go into the girls' dormitories, the stairs turn into a slide, so they can't make it in.
Wait, what about the girls going to the boys' side?
No, I guess they felt the girls were more trustworthy, so they can actually go into the boys' side whenever they want.
Well, that's sexist. So the wizarding world has the same biased pig outlook on men.
Well, they do have that spell to make a pigtail on the backside of someone.
I'm sure it doesn't work for girls. Ridiculous. Especially an ambitious Slytherin. Them kids be slithering right into the others' dormitories.
Right. Well, anyway, we do get to see the kids go to their dormitories, and then they go to some of their classes the next day.
So, what classes do they have?
Well, it's the basic classes for first year wizards. We're talking potions, charms, flying class.
Flying lessons. That must be cool. But how do they learn simple math and science?
Well, most wizarding students learn those things through homeschool from their parents, or they actually go to Muggle school until the age of 11, and that's where they learn those things.
Oh, we should do a video on that.
Will do. Anyway, we get to see some flying lessons for Harry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this Slytherin kid named Draco.
Draco Malfoy? Really? Sounds like Dragon Mouth. So does that mean that his family's a group of wizard rappers spitting fiery beats?
No. Anyway, he takes this other kid's Remember All.
What?
It's like a ball where the smoke turns red when you've forgotten something.
Like my morning treats?
You got your morning treat, Aurora.
Yes, I've had one morning treat. But what about second morning treat?
What? That's not a thing. Anyway, Draco takes the Remember All and throws it into the air, and Harry zooms by on his broom and snatches it right out of the air.
Oh, good coordination.
Yeah, so much that Professor McGonagall comes.
Cat lady.
Yeah, cat lady. So she comes and she takes Harry.
So is he in trouble?
No, she actually shows him wood.
But she's a woman.
No, Aurora, a boy would.
So she shows him his own wood or another boy's.
No, there's a boy student there named Oliver Wood, and Professor McGonagall introduces him to Oliver.
And does Harry like wood?
Aurora, focus.
Right. Sorry.
So Wood tells him about this wizard game called Quidditch, and he wants Harry to be the seeker.
Does he have to seek his wood?
Aurora.
Alright, I'm done.
So yeah, he explains to Harry that you take these balls, you throw them through some hoops to get points, right? All while you're trying to dodge these beaters.
Oh my god. So is Wood a beater? Because if he is, that'd be hilarious when they announce the starting lineups. Think about it. Oliver Wood beater. Come on, Dad. This is gold. Alright. Moving on.
Yeah, so the seeker, he tries to find this tiny golden ball with wings and catch it.
Then what happens?
So the snitch is worth like 150 points. So Wood tells him if he catches it, then the game is over and they win.
Well, that's not true.
What do you mean?
Well, if the other team is already at 160 points ahead, then they would still lose.
Oh, right.
I guess someone's math in homeschool sucked.
Yeah. So anyway, Harry is now the Gryffindor seeker for the team.
But it took him like a billion tries to grab like one of a billion envelopes out of the sky in his house. I'm pretty sure he's not as coordinated as they like to think he is.
Well, he's really coordinated now.
Right.
Yeah, so anyway, they read about a newspaper article of this bank getting broken into and they go to a vault.
And?
Well, Harry and Hagrid visited that vault earlier while they were there shopping, right? And Hagrid took something small out of it.
So the vault was empty when the robbers came.
Yep, and Hermione,
Oh, smart girl.
yeah, the smart girl, she looks suspicious about it.
The game is a paw.
Right. Then on Halloween, this troll comes into the castle and goes into the dungeon.
Oh, wow.
But Dumbledore keeps everyone calm and tells all the students to go back to their dormitories.
Wow. He sure hates Slytherin.
What?
Well, he sends Slytherin to the dorms, which are in the dungeons, where the troll is.
Oh. Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Anyway, Hermione is in the girls' lavatory in the dungeon, so Ron and Hermione go down there to warn her about the troll, but the troll is in the girls' bathroom.
Oh no. Gonna be hard to keep safe with a troll in there.
Now, it's easier than giving you treats.
Which you're late on, by the way.
No, actually, trolls are rather stupid. So Harry and Ron fight it during this time. You know, Harry's scar disappears during the fight.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it kind of changes size, shape, and, disappears at different times during the movie.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Anyway, they notice that Snape has a cut on his leg when he arrives to see that the troll has been defeated by them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Hermione talks to them later about the restricted section right before she goes on holiday.
So how did they get into the restricted section?
Simple. Harry just puts on a MacGuffin.
A what?
Sorry. I mean an invisibility cloak that he got during Christmas.
Gotcha. So the MacGuffin robe.
Yeah, and he walked through the school with it and went to the restricted section of the library.
Ooh. What did he find?
Yeah, so he sets the lamp down, takes off his robe, and then he has this book scream at him. Once that happens, somebody hears, obviously, this book screaming. They come over, and Harry grabs his cloak, pulls it off, and then the lamp falls from being on top of the cloak. And, yeah, Harry gets out of there.
Ruh-roh.
What?
Well, if he took his cloak off after putting down the lamp, how did the lamp get on top of the cloak?
Oh, right. Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, so Harry is on his way back through the castle with the invisibility cloak, and we actually see it makes him taller because he's at eye level now with any of the adults that he comes by during his walk.
Oh, a nifty little MacGuffin cloak, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway, he runs into Snape and Quirrell, who are having an argument.
Oh, convenient to run into them at the same time as their argument.
So later, Hermione slams a book down on a table, and she talks about the Sorcerer's Stone to them.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, so she explains how it produces the elixir of life and basically makes you immortal.
Continue.
So they determine that the stone is inside the castle, and that's what Snape was trying to get when the troll came in.
Why do they think it was Snape?
Well, he had a cut on his leg. He got in an argument with another teacher. I don't know. Look, guy looks creepy. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah, so they all put on the invisibility cloak. They use it to go to the Chamber of No. Sorry, that's the next one. They use it to go into this door, right? And behind the door is a three-headed dog.
Wow. Gonna be hard to get past a three-headed dog.
Nah, you just play him a bit of music, and he falls straight into sleep.
Oh, I know the feeling.
Yeah, so they get past the dog, right? They go through a couple of other traps, and then they get to this big chessboard where they have to play a game of wizard chess to get across it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there's 2 open spots on the chessboard for Harry and Hermione.
So, what does Ron do?
Well, he hops on a knight piece and rides it while they play.
Did he have to ride on it?
No.
So why put himself in harm's way?
Well, he's basically
Useless?
right until this scene. And so, they had to do something to make him of importance somehow.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so anyway, they win the chess match. Ron and Hermione stay behind, and Harry goes through the chamber into another room, and he finds
Professor Snape.
no Professor Quirrell.
Oh, so it was him that wanted the stone.
Yeah, so he undoes the turban to reveal the Dark Lord's head on the back of his.
Awkward.
What?
Well, did he have to sleep on his side every night so not to smother one of them?
Well,
Does the back of the head even need to read?
I'm not sure.
How did he brush Voldemort's teeth?
Unclear. So look, there's a lot of unanswered questions about this that we're never going to get the answers to. So let's just move on.
Okay, go ahead.
So Harry looks in this mirror and the stone appears in his pocket.
Oh no. So the head wart on the back of Quirrell can now get the stone.
Not really. See, Quirrell attacks Harry and he starts to turn into dust when he does it.
Oh, I see. Why?
The power of love.
Right, MacGuffin power.
Yeah, so then this lingering spirit of Voldemort, is still hanging around.
Yeah, he hasn't had his teeth brushed in God knows how long. That bad breath would linger for quite a while.
Yeah, and then the spirit goes straight through Harry, and even though it's a ghost, it kind of knocks him down and he falls over. And then Harry wakes up in the hospital wing of the school.
And that's it?
Pretty much.
So Voldemort coming back must make the whole Wizarding Society scared.
No, they didn't really let that out.
Oh, so Quirrell is dead. And they don't mention Voldemort? So Harry goes to prison, right?
No, it's pretty much like nothing ever happened.
I mean, a man dies, and a Dark Lord comes back as a ghost, and nothing changes?
Nope.
Okay.
So, you ready to watch this thing?
Yeah, sure, let's do this.
Hello everybody. Aurora is here today. I hope you enjoyed the video of me and my papa. I just wanted to let you guys know that for just the price of hitting the subscribe button or the like button, you can help a little dachshund like me get more treats in my diet. Thank you so much. Christ is King.
Right. Anyway, start.
Hold on, we're almost done.
Anyway,
Wait, back up.
we see that he's actually at high level with. You run straight at it You run straight into it between. Anyway, it's based on the most unpopular.